Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play StarTropics. We are now on Chapter 8. We finally met the main antagonist of the game, Zoda. And now we're going to have to take him down if we want to get off this spaceship with all 3 magic cubes. As soon as we go into this opening, we're going to be entering the dungeon. It's going to be the very last one of the game, but it's just the most aggravating. Because you start out with 3 hearts, like you always do, and you have to face Zoda immediately. Immediately grab this gun in the upper right-hand corner, and when his head shows up, you want to shoot at it. When the head shoots eyes, you want to avoid the eyes. Also, sometimes his hands will come out and try to grab you, and basically you do not want to be touched by anything. And if you couldn't already tell, the amount of hits you're going to get on this guy, as well as when hands or the head are going to show up, are going to be completely random. If you're really lucky, you can get quite a few good shots on the head in one go, making this fight a whole lot faster. And when you beat Zoda, Zoda turns into this alien thing and walks off. We're obviously not done with Zoda yet. Until then, we have to deal with a little bit of slowdown. Don't know why that is. But we do want to take out the 2 soldiers that are here on this floor to get rid of the slowdown. And also to get the vitamin and try to keep as much health as we can. You want to take as little damage as you can throughout Chapter 8. Just because of all the things you're going to be doing. And if I jumped a little bit later, I would have avoided getting shot at. And you definitely want to run past the second sniper here, just so you don't get hurt a whole bunch. And if that guy could have actually jumped to the left as soon as he came out of that floor tile, that would have been good. That really would have been useful. And I wouldn't be taking as much damage as I have. Now here, you're going to be facing the generator that powers this ship. We want to do as much damage as it can as you fight this thing. Try to fight off the soldiers here when they pop up, when they pop in and out. Try not to fall into the holes, or else you're going to have to deal with a whole bunch of soldiers. And if you're lucky, you can kind of get that much shots in with the gun on this thing. Just like that, and destroy it before the little panels open again. Those 2 in the corners actually shoot out those things that come at you when you're either north, south, west, or east of the panels. Those little spiky things from Chapter 7. Thankfully, I stood near the center, so I don't have to deal with them. All I'd really have to deal with are the soldiers. And I've got plenty of health. I still got the shooting star, thankful. Not the shooting star, but the supernova. And there are now these red things that are coming at me. And if they do drop power-ups. You can use those if you can. And you also kind of want to make your way to the north and kill these things as you go. On this final screen, these red things will only pop out from this one spot in the center of the path. So it's good to have full health before you do anything here. And here you'll finally meet Zoda. I keep wanting to call him Zora, after the Zoras from Legend of Zelda. To be fair, they do have similar names. Now here, you definitely want to avoid getting hit by the red things. And of course, avoid being hit. Come on! I'm gonna have to use the gun now. Great. Ugh. And I seem to be lucking out a whole bunch here. You kind of want to keep on jumping as you attack Zoda. That way the belly button lasers don't give you a whole bunch of trouble. Those holes in the generator battle, if you fall into them, there is a way to refill your health there, and if you can somehow kill off the soldiers, you can get like 3 potions. And if you die at any point, you have to do this all over again. The whole chapter. They could not even put checkpoints in Chapter 8. This is why I'm convinced that they rebooted the series or remastered the first game. There would be a serious difficulty overhaul. Because this game is frustrating. It is absolutely frustrating. And absolutely unforgiving at times. It's a fun game. I will give it that. But they pile on the difficulty so much, which developers were wont to do in the 80s and 90s. What they were accustomed to doing. That's what wont, W-O-N-T, means, without the apostrophe. They could have realized, hey, these games are for the home, and they aren't like Atari 2600 anymore. We don't need to artificially inflate the difficulty. But no, they just keep doing this. And you don't necessarily have to see the animation of Zoda walking into the blackness there in the background. You can just go straight ahead as soon as you beat that battle. But it's still just very, very annoying. And I don't even know why I'm using the gun at this point. So I had equipped the supernova. And I managed to get through there without getting shot by the first sniper. Run past the second guy. Go to the left, go. I said go to the left. Come on! And sometimes you may get hit by this guy, that's okay. As long as I can do this again. I should be able to do it. And this thing is gonna heal. By the way, this thing does heal itself whenever it closes up, so you do want to keep that in mind. Come on. Don't fail me now. There we go. Gonna grab that star there. And get over here, grab the 4 hearts, grab the gun again. I may have to talk less during the next battle, since, well, I've already explained what it is we need to do. And if I could refill my hearts, that'd be great. Just keep on attacking here, we should be good. Because you keep giving me those hearts. Just keep on farming. Only got one more life to do this in. If I can make it work, I can make it work. If not, I may have to do like post-commentary on this, because this is revolting. Again, you want to keep your distance away from Zoda as you do this. If I can get him on screen, that'd be great. And sometimes he'll be slightly off like this all the time. Ooh, he jumped back. And I just took some damage there, but that's alright. You don't necessarily have to fight him on these platforms. As long as you can kind of get him to where you can hit him, that works a lot. And yes, sometimes he will move back and forth. And you need to take a breather away from Zoda. Come on! Move! This is where the grid-like controls of the game really work against you. And if he touches you, instant death. Zoda does not care how much health you have. You are losing a life, you're going all the way back to the beginning of the chapter, end of story. You know what? I'm just gonna meet you back at the final boss. And I'm gonna just add post-commentary because this is ridiculous. I had never had this much problem, this much problematic behavior going on in the practice run. Problematic behavior is probably the weirdest way I could put it, but yeah, I never had this many problems when I was practicing this. Once again, the LP curse strikes! Be right back. And I'm back, this time with post-commentary. Apparently, the secret to beating Zoda is to stay as far away as you can from Zoda while still keeping him on screen. Because if he's off screen, obviously you can't damage him. And he'll also tend to want to stay away from you as well. You also want to pay attention to where the little red things that jump around go, because they will move in any of the 4 cardinal directions 2 spaces at a time. And though you may not necessarily need to fight them on these tiles here in the center of the room, you may end up having to utilize them more often than not anyway. I know I did. But as long as the red things that jump around and occasionally give you power-ups happen to be between the tiles, so to speak, you don't really have to worry about them all that much. Until they reach the bottom of the screen, then they can get to you and anything goes, and you have to take care of them. I basically had to play chicken with Zoda in order to do what I wanted to do against him. And because of that, I was able to get in much more damage doing this before adding post-commentary than I did when I was talking and playing at the same time. Not surprisingly, I also take a lot less damage here as well. And if I go back to the shooting star anytime, I do switch to the gun. And eventually, once you do enough damage, bubbles will form on Zoda's back, he starts throwing up, he starts vomiting, and you'll basically destroy Zoda for good. From here, you can enter this doorway to the north, and you can finally go through this narrow passageway to get the final cube. It is possible to get more points than I did. It is possible to get more than 90,000. I know I got exactly 90k during the practice run. But here, because I died so much, something I didn't expect, I didn't turn out so lucky here. And as you go through this very straightforward path, you get stopped by the game, which basically tells you you have no time, get to the cube. And it's like, enough already. I know the ship is about to self-destruct. You don't need to send me more than one message. Thankfully, after the third one, you can finally get the cube without interruption. But here's the thing. Now that you got the cube, there's no way out. What are you gonna do? That's what Mike Jones is going to figure out right now. And he doesn't really have a lot in the way of options. Somehow, I'm guessing the magic of the cubes get him off the ship before it explodes and he lands in the... Oh, it's an escape pod. Okay. Well, that makes sense too, though how he gets to it is never explained. Mike Jones tries to swim to land, but... But suddenly, he is saved by the dolphin from Chapter 2, who just happened to be in the area and took us straight to Coral Cola. With that, we're now exactly where we began the game all those parts ago, 11 to be exact. There's Sub-C near the laboratory. We can't go anywhere else but the village. Let's go to the village. And you don't necessarily need to talk to everybody. Everybody will just give you a congratulatory message, and will just thank you on a job well done. I hear you cream Zoda. Mike, show me how to use a yo-yo sometime? Mike, you rescued Dr. J, didn't you? That's Radicola! All these cola jokes. Wish I had some in the fridge, but sadly I do not. Welcome back to Coral Cola. Congratulations! Now Babu's here. Oh, Mike, it's me, Miss Coral. You look totally cool, except for those bananas. Mike, it's me, Babu. Let's celebrate with some cola. You don't necessarily need to talk to Babu and actually get this health refill. This refill is actually pretty useless. But, you know what? I'm just gonna take it because I'd rather have all 22 hearts. Hi, Mike, you've done it! Dr. J has already returned and he's waiting for you. Oh, you are fantastic. Mike, want to go fishing? Have you mastered the ABCs of fishing? Where do you come from? Spacey Cola? Who are you? Stay away from here! I'm just kidding you, Mike. I guess the shaman is at our chief's hut. Went through the dialogue a little bit too fast, but at least I was able to read it. And once you go to Coral Cola, all you have to do is just go back to the chief's hut. You'll meet Dr. Jones. He'll tell you that you've returned the 3 magic cubes. I knew you could do it! The monsters have disappeared from the islands. Mike, our island is forever indebted to you, as well as the rest of the islands. Navcom here, Captain. Circus indicates success! Circus indicates success! Mike, you've done it! You risk life and limb. I know you almost gave up your quest, but I'll tell all, you battled like a hero under the Southern Cross. Now, Mike, let's join the 3 magic cubes together. You join the 3 magic cubes. And as these things flash, you eventually have to press the B button, and I didn't notice that until I actually saw the arrow at the bottom of the dialogue window. They're transforming! Something is happening! Wow, they're kids! Who are they? Oh, that one speaks! Listen! Hi. I'm Princess Mika, daughter of the Argonian. Well, I went too fast for the dialogue, so I might as well just tell you. These are the last 7 children and the last survivors of Argonia. Their planet was almost destroyed 20 years ago when they were placed in time-frozen magic cubes and sent to Earth. Argonia no longer exists, but her father, the legendary King Huracan, has asked the children to live in peace with the people of Earth. Mike, you saved more than cubes. You saved the whole race from extinction. Mika, many kids live on the islands. I know the chief will welcome you here. Oh, 7 boys and girls. We welcome all of you. It's your new home. You'll be happy living here under the Southern Cross. Okay, tonight is the party. It will be a great feast for all. We are pleased. You are so kind. I'm hungry. Is that a banana cream pie? You speak to them. Hey, anybody want to go fishing? Let's go. And with that, we see the camera zoom out from the village, out from Crescent Isle, out towards the ocean, out towards the planet itself, out from the planet, matter of fact, and out of the galaxy. And with that, the game has come to an end. By the way, if you hear a during the ending scene where you meet the children of Argonia, that's because there actually was a bass pattern in that song, and for some reason, it doesn't play like it should, and therefore you just hear one note from the bass. Thankfully, somebody has made a patch for the ROM where you do get to hear the bass, but the ending sequence music sounds pretty good just the same without it. But now, as the credits roll, I might as well go ahead and mention my final thoughts on StarTropics. Love the graphics. They're crisp, they're clear, they're colorful. They do get dark when they need to, but it still feels rather very bright and colorful even near the end of the game, as if to give a sense of hope, I guess. I do love the sound and music. There's not a lot of music here, but what's there is great. And we're now seeing still images of our journey throughout the game, which is kind of cool. The controls, they're alright. The grid-like controls, the tank-like controls, I guess you could call them those, they can kind of betray you if you're trying to double back in case of a boss battle or something. Especially happened to me with Zoda a couple times during the very last battle. And even sometimes when fighting enemies. They do take a bit to get used to. They are pretty responsive, but the way the controls work, where you have to tap a direction once in order to get to where you need to go, in order to face where you need to go, and then again to go in that direction, I should say, that can kind of be problematic at times. They're not perfect, but they kind of work, and they especially work once you are really used to them. And I can imagine playing through this game a couple more times again. Once you beat the game, there's not really much to bring you back to this, unless, say, you haven't played it in a couple of years. My main gripe is with the difficulty, though. It does get fairly hard fairly fast. The difficulty starts to really ramp up around Chapter 3. 4 and 5, I didn't really have that much trouble, though maybe it was just me. But 6 and definitely 7 and 8, it got hard again, and 7 and 8 are definitely the toughest chapters in the game, especially when you have no checkpoints in Chapter 8. As I said in the live commentary section of this video, if this game, at least the first one, was rebooted, if the series was rebooted, or if the first game was given a remaster of sorts, I can guarantee that this game would be given some sort of difficulty overhaul. That much is certain. But do I recommend this game? I kinda do. It's not too bad. It's really not that bad. The difficulty may be off-putting for some, but if you stick with it, it can be a fun game, and eventually you can beat it. You just gotta have a lot of patience with this game. And with that, that is the end of Let's Play StarTropics. Hopefully I'll be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it'll be somewhere in between. Who knows? Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. And before I go, I do want to give a special shout out to Super Vidya Brothers for playing this game recently as of the time of this recording. I know they didn't get very far. I think they only made it to Chapter 3, which is kind of understandable because, as I said before, in the Let's Play, that's when the difficulty really ramps up. So, I don't really blame them for ending the Let's Play at that point when they did. But anyway, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, thanks for watching, and see you guys later!